Hey everyone, today we're starting something new. Precious thoughts. These are our thoughts on precious metals and stacking. And we know there are a lot of great stacking videos out there, there are a lot of great stacking channels out there, and we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. But I have some things that I think that are, I haven't seen yet or I haven't heard yet, and I want to kind of throw my bottle with a letter in it out into the ocean and join the community and just share some of my thoughts on stacking. And this first one might be perhaps the most controversial. Today we're going to be talking about junk gold and junk silver, also known as constitutional gold, constitutional silver, and sorry guys, I don't like it that much. So let me tell you why. I have two problems with constitutional gold and silver. The first is they're all really odd weights and funny measurements. The second is they don't say what they have on them. Alexis, let's take a look at this English sovereign. Here we go. You take one too. Take a look at both sides of the sovereign. We look at the beautiful, what's called the obverse with the guy's head on it. Mm-hmm. All right. I think that's a King Edward there or something. I'm actually not sure. All right. And then we look at the reverse, and it's St. George slaying a dragon. And I don't know what the date on yours is, but mine is 1930.
1911.
Yeah. They're very pretty. They're nice coins. I have no idea how much gold is in this coin. Can you tell how much gold is in yours?
Nope.
No? There's a bunch of Latin stuff on the obverse, but no numbers.
The color looks gold.
It looks kind of goldish. I'm sure that it's gold. Well, apparently these are British sovereigns, and they weigh altogether 0.2345 troy ounces, and they're 22 carats, so they contain 0.2150 ounces of pure gold. Right? At a spot value of gold at 1,700, they're worth $365.50.
This?
Yeah.
This is supposed to be a dime. Or a penny. What is this supposed to be?
No, it's a sovereign.
Oh,
it's about a quarter ounce of gold.
It's a quarter ounce of gold. This is not something that was ever considered junk gold then.
Not junk, but I mean junk in the sense that it's called junk silver.
Because it's not pure gold? Is that why?
No. They used to call it junk because I'm using the term junk gold a little bit ironically. Junk silver is what really it's called, or constitutional silver, or constitutional gold. I don't think a lot of people are using the term junk gold. But the point is that this is just junk or constitutional just refers to old coins that contain gold and silver.
Oh, okay. But this is pure gold then?
No, it's 22 karat. It's 91.67% gold.
Okay, that's what I thought that's what you said earlier. Okay.
Yeah. Let's move on. We've taken a look at these sovereigns. Let's take a look at this $50 here. This is a beautiful one. I only have one of these at the moment. Here, take a look. That's a Walking Liberty dollar. Let me know if you can find anything. Take a look at the obverse. Take a look at the reverse. Beautiful eagle on the back. Let me know if you can tell me how much silver's in that $50.
It's very, very nice design. All I see on here is $50, which doesn't tell you much about the composition of the metals.
Well, apparently, according to APMEX, this $50 has 0.3575 ounces of silver.
These are such specific numbers. What is that in dollar terms then?
So in dollar terms, that's at a spot silver price of $20, that's $7.15.
And again, this isn't like 0.999.
That's, I believe, 90% silver.
90?
By melt, yeah.
Okay. Can I ask what the other constituent metals are?
I actually don't know. My suspicion would be some admixture of copper and iron or nickel.
Interesting.
But I'm not sure.
All right, so this is obviously worth a lot more than $50 today,
right.
But it doesn't tell you like the purity or the weight on the coin. So you really wouldn't know that unless you
looked it up in a reference book, which is my favorite type of money to have. Money that I have to literally go look into a catalog to figure out what the hell it's worth. All right, let's take a look at some of these dimes. I got two dimes. I got some Rosies, which is Franklin Roosevelt on the front. Here you go. And then I got a couple of Mercuries mixed in here. Sorry. I got a couple of Mercuries mixed in here. Right? Here, take Mercury too. All right. So take a look at these Rosies. There's Franklin Delano Roosevelt, our probably our first or second most socialist president. And then we got the reverse, which is these. I think it's a torch and some plants. I don't know. And then the Mercury, we got a rendition of Hermes on one side, and then on the back, Fasces, which is sort of odd. But this is pre Benito Mussolini. Well, actually, 1936. This is contemporary.
Oh no, that's not.
Well, anyway, these
that doesn't age well.
do these? The question of the day is, okay, what are these worth? I see one dime. Do you see anything about the weight or composition of silver in here?
Oh nope. Again.
I see a date. I see some. I see Liberty on here. I don't know. Yeah, I see Liberty on both, which is sort of ironic because the 20th century was where we lost most of our civil liberties. But,
1934.
Yeah, in the United States, I mean. But I don't see any composition of silver or any purity of silver, so I have no idea by looking at this coin what it's worth. Now, apparently, it contains. This is according to Gainesville coins. One of these dimes contains 0.07234 ounces of silver, troy ounces of silver, and at spot silver price of $20 per troy ounce, that works out to $1.44.68. So, sorry, $1.4468 of silver. So I guess while these coins do have divisibility, while these dimes have divisibility, it's sort of odd. They have odd weights, and they're difficult to calculate the exact value compared to troy ounce. Now, let's take a look at some of these real quick. We have a couple of maples. Here, take these maples.
Okay.
And we have Britannia. Take a look at that. And
I love the Britannias.
yeah, they're very nice, very shiny. And they sound great. But I'm looking at these maples, and you can look at your Britannia too. And they all have Queen Elizabeth II, rest in peace. The Canadians have, the maple leafs have the classic beautiful maple leaf on the back. And you can see, it says, not just one, but two languages. It tells you what it has. Fine silver, or argent pur, which is French, and 1 ounce. Okay, great. And it even has the purity, 99.99% pure. I know exactly what's in this coin. Now, the only goofy thing about this is it does say $5 Canadian.
Yeah.
At least mine does.
Mine does.
For the maple leaf. Which is sort of goofy because Canadian dollars. That's so silly. But then on top of that, I mean, Australian dollars, Canadian dollars. They're not real dollars, right? They're less real than the U.S. dollar is. But on top of that, people might be confused at the face value of $5. I acknowledge that. But what's not confusing is the content of the purity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll take a look at the Britannias too. What do you see on there?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has the weight. It has the purity.
Mm-hmm.
That's very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it has the 2 pounds. Assigned value.
Right.
Or I suppose that would be a nominal value.
Yep.
But yeah, I think we all know it's a little more valuable than that.
Right. 1 ounce. This one's 3/9 fine, so 99.9%. And it's a Britannia. And it's silver, so silver right there, fine silver. Yep.
Oh, I see. There's only 3 9s on this one. I missed that.
Well, that's okay. I mean, it's about the same.
Yeah.
The point is, I know exactly what it is. I also know exactly what the melt value is. At spot price of $20, this Britannia and this maple leaf, they're both worth $20. Now I understand premium values are going to be higher than that. Maybe the premiums for these might be $23.50 or $24 if you're trading it on the open market. But the melt value, I'm not at all that doubt about. It's $20. This is 1 troy ounce. This is 1 troy ounce. These are both $20 at $20 spot silver. Although more recently, spot silver is like $23.20. And of course, the last one, this guy is a lot of fun. But this guy, this is one of the biggest coins ever. This is an Australian kookaburra.
It's probably the only one the camera can see from.
That's right. It's got Queen Elizabeth on the obverse, and it's got a kookaburra on the back. All right. It's got a nominal value of $30. Make sure you handle that carefully. And then it tells you the weight on the reverse side.
Wow, this
The
is
weight there, the weight there is a kilogram, which is 32.15 troy ounces. That's another one I have to look up, but that's a conversion between troy ounces and kilograms versus grams. And some countries mint in kilograms or grams gold and silver, but especially gold. And other countries will mint preferably in troy ounces. But there's no doubt about what this is, what it contains. It's 1 kilo, 3/9 fine silver. Easy, right? No question about it. All right. So for me, I prefer to have. I don't know how you feel after having gone through this, but I prefer having things measured in troy ounces.
Well, it seems like there would just be less confusion if you were trying to transact with any of these. I mean, although the nominal value is not reliable or correct, if you know what the underlying metal is, weight and purity, then it's very easy to know what you're working with on both sides of a transaction.
Yeah. I think you brought up too, we were at the Whiskey Museum in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and we saw something that was really neat. It was a replica of a piece of eight. And you want to tell us about what that is?
Oh, yeah. Well, it was the Whiskey Rebellion Museum. I guess they would cut a 1 ounce coin of silver.
A Spanish dollar.
Oh, was that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is back in colonial times.
Yeah, they cut it like almost like a pizza, it looked like, into eighths, and then they call each eighth was a bit, right?
Yep.
So, you could basically that way divide up 1 ounce into smaller, smaller units of money.
Yep. Exactly. So people bring up the constitutional silver fans. They like the dimes because of the divisibility, but you can accomplish much the same thing with pieces of eight or dividing 1 ounce of silver coins into 8 pieces once again, if necessary.
Well, I think you told me that each of these dimes would be basically about $1.44 based on the metal. But if you divide, what is the spot price of silver today? Like $27?
Well, let's say for easy math, it's 20, and then divide that by 8.
Let's say 24 divided by 8. That's $3
each.
So I guess technically your dime is still even more.
More finely divided.
Yeah, more small, like a smaller unit. But I think if you can get things down to in terms of like $3, that gives you a lot of flexibility with what you're purchasing, and also you're not going to be overpaying for anything by more than that amount.
And of course, what we're forgetting once again too is that if we end up having a return of the use of gold and silver, we will probably still have some sort of form of energy. And if we have forms of energy, deposit gold and silver with trustworthy, not U.S. central bank related banks, and we can deposit those and then have electronic balance that can be subdivided within 1 millionth of an ounce if we need. And we can also have potentially cryptocurrencies based on gold and silver deposits by reputable institutions.
Yeah,
unaffiliated with governments.
Yeah, I think totally. Like, I know that people say like, oh yeah, you want these things, you can transact, but my personal opinion, I think we're long gone with the days of physical transaction of currency. I think this would probably all be deposited somewhere and then digitized.
With the exception of redemption rights, I feel much more comfortable knowing I can go to a bank or to a depository and retrieve physical gold or silver anytime.
Yeah.
As long as I have redemption rights, I'm happy to do most of my transactions digitally. As long as whenever I want some physically in my pocket, I can.
Fair enough. I hope this maybe was It was informative for me.
Yeah.
So maybe it was informative for others.
And one other thing I'll bring up too is, we have 1 ounce coins that are being minted currently, but we could have 10th ounce coins in silver, quarter ounce coins, half ounce coins. I understand the premiums for those might be a little bit higher, which is a problem. Or we already have that problem with gold, like the premiums on a quarter ounce of gold or a 10th ounce of gold, 10th ounce USD gold. You end up paying about $2,200 for your gold there, or something like that, as opposed to maybe $1,800 for a 1 ounce coin. We could see similar problems there with silver, I acknowledge, if we try to subdivide it, but it could theoretically be subdivided. And also, one other thing people forget is we already have a system that's worked really well for divisibility of coins. Gold, and then silver, and then copper. So we can return to the use of copper pennies. People say, "Oh, you have to have divisibility in gold and silver." No, you don't. You can have divisibility in copper as well. What do you think about that?
I think that's also news to me. So good thinking, I suppose, for those who came up with that idea.
I mean, it's only been in use throughout human civilizations for about 3,000 or 4,000 years.
Okay, well, don't make me feel too silly about this.
Well, I don't think you were around back then.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't around then. How could I know?
Any other questions or comments or thoughts?
No, I think that hopefully this was short, sweet, and to the point, and maybe informative.
These are just my precious thoughts.